Hello, hello, beautiful YouTube audience. So I don't have my typical steady device. Uh, you've seen me walk around the office before. Actually, let me go ahead and turn on some lights so it's not so weird walking around the office. I've got the office to myself because it's a nice Saturday, doing some work on a Saturday, working on a couple of things, both for the channel as well as the mineyour.biz website. Hey, Z, watcha. Hey, so here's what I've got going on over in the office today. No, wait a second. I actually have to turn around. Otherwise, you won't even see what I'm talking about. I am not taking the bait, though I have in the past. Oh, man. The situation got dire the other day. I just forgot to bring in the right kind of stuff for the office. And again, I'm getting to the Saturday SCAMBUSTERS info here, guys. But before I get to that, I usually bring in provisions for the office for when things get that dire, right? A little bit of a backup, right? It's so bad. I stole candy from babies. That's what I'm saying. I stole candy from the interns. Fine. That's my confession. And I'm with you, newbie. It's good to have backup. Now, I mean, I brought a little extra, right? Extra food in the fridge. I just didn't stock the fridge, right? That's on to my dirty secret. So, I know, right? Rod, I got a couple of frames there that are not being used, in part because I get free electricity here with the office rental. But, you know, taking advantage is taking advantage. And so I don't want the landlord to be like, hey, this is way outside of range. We get good rates here on industrial and on commercial. But I don't want to take advantage, right? So I've got my test rig running over here. This is the riserless system that I've been talking about. Hey, how are you? But I've got the riserless system right here that you guys have heard me talking about. This has been the best test bench because I don't have to worry about burned out risers, right? I've got the U-bit, I think V8 or V9 U-bit risers, so they're nice. They work well, but I much prefer riserless system, guys. I just don't. Once you go with the headache-free experience of using a riserless system, it's not hyperbole. I'm not making stuff up. You'll probably never go back. There's just no reason to. So when I see other YouTubers like, yeah, check it out, I'm going to do this really fancy thing where I have to remove fans and I have to do all this other stuff. It's like, dude, that's all built into the riserless systems. So AZ, guess what? That they actually didn't innovate this system. It was manufactured by another company. And I can reveal that company to you on the mineyour.biz website because, drum roll, boom, we are opening the e-com store today. Cue the applause. I don't have my soundboard because I'm using my phone, but we're opening the e-com store today, both for merch and so like the swag stuff, right? T-shirts, beanies. We've got, it's crazy, but I've got a couple of full bleed sublimated printed dresses for ladies, sports bras, yoga pants. I'm just saying, the ladies have to have their yoga pants, and sometimes we have to provide better options, right? So go ahead and put my face on your lady's derriere and get some yoga pants, right? She'll appreciate it, I'm sure. And as will you. You'll be like, oh, I'm totally not in the mood anymore because there's Seth's face looking back at me. But I know, that's weird. We took a really sharp left turn there. No comments. Everyone's stunned. But the merch store opens up tonight. The hardware store opens up tonight. This is independent of the group buy with Minority. Minority, guys, what Minority does is amazing. And this is in no way intended to detract from what Minority does, right? So what Minority does is volume, and they do best-in-class co-location. And they have a best-in-class ownership model with their ERC 721 token, as well as smart contracts. Like, basically, if anybody is out to try to topple Minority, good luck with that. Guys, here's me being extremely vocal about my support for Minority as a community member. I don't even have anything hosted with them. And they have my full support in terms of what they're trying to do. Okay, guys, in part, I hopped onto this live stream. This is going to be kind of weird. Rod's right. Got to put the ladies to work sometimes. I mean, hey, not to make it bad. Springmeister, good to see you. Let me flip this around, guys, and show you kind of what I've got going on over on BitTube. This is going to be the model moving forward. So two big announcements, right? So the Mind Your Biz store is going live tonight. Going live tonight. It won't be long before it's live. Hey, Big Dog, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. But let me flip this guy around. And there we are on BitTube streaming live. We got 14 viewers right now. Here's the thing. BitTube doesn't overinflate your numbers in sometimes the same way that YouTube does. And what BitTube is doing right now, those 14 viewers are, hey, yeah, Ric Flair does love minority. But guys, those BitTube views are earning me Tube coins. And if you're watching, they're earning you Tube coins. So right now on YouTube, this is cool. Wait a second, I said that too fast, right? They're earning YouTube coins. No, they're earning Tube coins, or the BitTube native currency, for you as well as a viewer. Their function called Airtime launched earlier this week. And guys, thank you so much. Like I'm so overwhelmed by the community support in going to watch the channel there. Flack, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And that's just it. The old Nexus 7 2013. Man, I was a trainer for Google that year. And that Nexus 7 2013, if you root it, if you put on a really good ROM, that thing's going to give you another couple of years of life. What a well-built device. So many smart devices that just are filling landfills unnecessarily. I only update my phones every now and then. You know, it's mining economics. We know how much power these things consume and how, you know, what the IPC is on all these devices. So guys, bit.tube/mineyourbiz. bit.tube/mineyourbiz. That's the channel. And then if you want to watch a recurring stream or a recurring playlist of all of the videos that I've uploaded there to date, you can go to bit.ly/MYB, all uppercase, -BitTube. And I'm going to see if maybe I can add that later on. But guys, that'll give you a 77 video stream, which, like Flack was saying, that's like 3 days of content. It really is like 3 days of content because, I mean, you know, when we go live, we tend to go for a long time. Hey, Thomas, thank you so much for watching the channel there. I wouldn't want to ask anybody to do anything unethical, right? So having it actually be views that are properly represented is what I'm asking the community to do. It's a huge support for me. It's a huge support for you because you get paid to watch my content, which is super cool. It gives you an opportunity to to give tips to creators that maybe are up and coming, maybe don't have a lot of view time yet. You can throw them a few Tube coins and make sure that, you know, people are encouraged to continue to use the platform. So that way you get content creators outside of just me. Because right now there are a couple of movie channels that have uploaded all kinds of fake, stolen content, and they've hit the top of the airtime charts as well. But they've done it because they've really focused on getting as much copyrighted content that is kind of contraband. Like over time, it's going to be taken down through DMCA takedown notices. There's no way that BitTube and Saber, there's no way that they can leave those videos available for search. In the same way that Pirate Bay and others, right? They have to comply with DMCA takedown notices in a certain amount of time. Otherwise, they get dragged off to court. And the FBI tracks them down internationally. It's crazy, but Hollywood is serious about getting its money. And speaking as somebody who's had to work in one of the studios and who has family members who work at those studios, it's big business. And that whole, the bumper that they play on all the DVDs and stuff, piracy is not a victimless crime. That's actually true. There are families and there are individuals who earn their livelihood by working on these movies. If you watch the ending credits of like the next Avengers movie or a Marvel film, there are thousands of names that scroll by. They all earned their living working on these films. So when we pirate, you know, it takes away from them. But then Bollywood films, right? Bollywood, these movies coming out of India, they've got copyright as well. Movies coming out of Hong Kong, they've got copyright as well. In Hong Kong, I mean, for decades, they've gotten used to the fact that after a couple of weeks, things just will get pirated. And so a lot of their distribution and exhibition venues they've just kind of adapted to get used to that reality. Anyway, you see where I'm going with all this. What BitTube is doing is pretty amazing because they're incentivizing watching on a platform. And what it should incentivize is original content. It shouldn't be incentivizing copycats and pirates, right? So thank you for your support on BitTube. Thank you for reaching out to your other favorite YouTube creators, political commentators, people who talk about, like Rod, you mentioned 30 years as a barber. If you follow anybody on Instagram or you follow anybody on YouTube that does live hairstyling or does any kind of craft or professional work on camera, bring them over to BitTube, right? It's a secondary source of income for these folks that are already grinding every day. They're hustling every day to get really good at their craft. So if they can add a camera, literally like what I'm doing right now, if they can live stream, we can set them up to do what's called an RTMP live stream from their phone over to BitTube. They're getting money, right? Their barbershop is getting money. Their salon is getting money. Or their mechanic shop is getting money. XBitCo, thank you. Setherium, that has a certain ring to it. If Sether weren't already taken, we would have gone that direction. Guys, one more, I guess. So the two major updates, we're going live for Saturday SCAMBUSTERS. At least Saturday SCAMBUSTERS will be a BitTube first show, and it'll be live. I think we're going to leave this live stream going for the rest of the day, and I'm going to try to set up a live network for my channel as well. So, oh no, BTC is dropping. Kasama, thank you for letting us know. Don't play with our emotions. It's a serious business. So going live on BitTube, and the mineyour.biz store goes live tonight. Merchandise, equipment, smaller components, 6-pin Y cables, right, for splitting your PCI Express power. I'm not going to go with U-bit risers because, frankly, they're hard to come by at a good price. And I think that SQRL has sourced them better. Those are available on Minority. So parts and pieces that Minority doesn't currently have for home mining, I'll be looking for, okay, and putting on mineyour.biz as a complement to what Minority is doing. I love what they're doing, and nobody does it better. Again, I can't say that strongly enough, emphatically enough. And I am so, really, I feel so humbled that that Minority has agreed to partner with mineyour.biz on this upcoming group buy for P104. Guys, I have some additional info that I can't talk about just yet, that I shouldn't talk about just yet until we get official info on the RTX series cards, right? We're all interested to know exactly what all the details are. There have been some leaks, some unofficial pricing, right? And then some semi-official pricing on RTX 280 and 280 Ti. That all looks really good, but I don't think that the performance numbers versus the price, and then the performance and price versus the efficiency is going to really wow us just yet. I think there's a lot. Well, Kisama, that's true when you look at the benchmarks for in-game rendering. When you look at the benchmarks for in-game rendering, the 2080 looks a lot better than the 1080 Ti. Nobody's benchmarked it for mining. Am I right? Trust me. I've talked to people who should have had a developer sample and should have been able to do benchmarking for mining. They don't have it. So, Josh, there's an R in there. So appreciate it. So I don't know if it'll be worth it. Kisama, that's all I'm saying is I don't know if it'll be worth it. And I think it's going to be hard for us to know until we get our hands on actual production samples. You guys, you heard me talking about that with Acorn. I can't name names, but somebody offered me a pre-production Acorn. They did. That happened. And somebody was like, hey, Seth, you should check this out on your show, and you should do all the mining, and you should do this, here's some bit streams and stuff. And I was like, what? No, I can't do that. Like, it wouldn't do anybody any good if I'm using pre-production hardware with pre-production software. And then we find out when everything ships that the whole situation has changed, right? That optimizations have hit. Or that maybe there are some limitations in terms of supply chain. So certain kinds of memory aren't available, or certain kinds of chips, transistors and such, capacitors are not available on board. That there's just the subtlest change in the design of that board that yields a different result. Roderick, you're asking. Okay, guys, I can tell you this also. I do have a little bit of a sneak peek on P104. I've got 500 P104, and I'm doing this on my own as mineyour.biz. I'm just going to say that a close friend of mine, that they have a pallet full of P104. They bought it, they sourced it, and they're asking me to move it for them. So this is a personal favor for a close friend. And we'll move on to the group buy with Minority soon, okay? No official news on the group buy with minority, but I've got 500 P104 today. Those are being listed on mineyour.biz. So if you know you need P104 and you know my stance on P104, this person reached out to me independently and they were like, I happen to have P104 specifically. What do you think of P104? And I was like, seriously? What do I think of P104? Have you not been watching the videos? He was like, no, man, no. Tell me, what's up? What's the scoop on P104? And I said, it's great. So this particular person runs a mid-scale mine, and they got a certain quantity for themselves. And they were like, hey, here, I've got 500 new in package. No, Rod, you're right. You're right. You're a people reader. I see it, man. I see it. When I'm in town, we have to hit up the barbershop. Have to chat it up. But he's got a certain quantity for himself. Yeah, beard. See, I kind of leave it, when I leave it like this, you start to see how gray I really am. Ugh. And when I wax this up, it looks all right. Looks okay. But well, I'll tell you this. How many miles do I walk on Saturdays, Thomas? Not nearly as much as I used to when I was doing management for the retail for retail. It was retail corporate training. So I did corporate training for retail outlets. That is to say, I was a market trainer for a couple of companies. So drive like 4 hours a day. But then when I wasn't driving for 4 hours a day, I was on my feet walking like 5 to 10 miles in between. It was really weird. My health got really messed up by it too. Because even though you're up and walking that much, sitting just kills you, man. Sitting is absolutely the smoking of this generation. Absolutely. So it feels good to get up and walk. All right, guys. So you see it. I probably need to hop off this live stream because we're going on almost 20 minutes. So I don't want to bore you to tears with 2 live streams today. But right here, we are on BitTube live. If you go to my channel, it says live on BitTube first, Sunday Scambusters version 3. And I've got a little bit of like I've got a lobby going, right? There's a little bit of mood music playing. Feel free to just park it there, and we'll go live at about 3 p.m. UTC -6. What do you see me mining in the background again? Riserless systems. When the store goes live tonight, you're going to see some really cool options for riserless motherboards. Cases we'll get to soon. We will get to them soon. Integrated cases, and they'll be probably the best value you've ever seen. Not going to name names, but there are other companies that try to sell you the individual components, and they wind up not really giving you the best value. And what I've done is been able to source the cases. Guys, this is for home mining, for expanding a small garden only. If you're looking at getting a really good bang for the buck and going with co-location, hitting the ground running, getting your equipment mining from day one, then the group buy at minority might be better. Oh, Mo, as a content producer, I work day in and day out. And as an entrepreneur, forget about it. Ask any other entrepreneur in the comment section, brother. There are no 2 ways about it. We're always on call, and stuff just has to get done. So yeah, I work on weekends. I do community management. You guys know I'm a person of faith. I will literally be sitting in church and answering community questions while attempting to work on staying focused. Again, that's the other major curse of our time, guys, with the digital age. Maintaining focus on any one thing for long enough to get it done really well is a hard task for almost anyone, almost any organization as well. And it's not for lack of trying, right? We got all these systems, we got all these books, we got all these seminars, we got all this technology, all this stuff, right? All this stuff is supposed to help us. And it's just getting harder and harder, right? It's crazy. Oh, XBitco, I sincerely hope we have an overabundance of NAND flash for next year. It could make a serious problem for certain companies, but in the meantime, the economies that need to be, you're right. Yeah, don't sleep, don't blink, right? Crypto just moves too fast. But the economies of scale that we need for major mining, especially going into companies like Minority, with some of the hardware partners that I think they intend to bring on board and that they intend to partner with. we need that kind of group buying power at our disposal in the way that the bigger players have only tried to sell to us in Cloud Hash in years past. You guys kind of understand what I'm saying here? I'm getting a much different image of what Minority is all about the more time I spend with them. Thomas, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. A well-balanced life, right? They say the unexamined life is not worth living. And if you don't ultimately introspect to ask yourself some very important questions about the foundation of life, about the origin and destiny of man, etc., then you're not really asking yourself those questions that help you live a full life. So I feel like I'm discovering my own answers, and I wouldn't deign to tell anybody else exactly how it is. But I appreciate the way that you phrase that. I can say that. So, yeah, guys, that's what I got. 2 big things. Wow. 10 minutes per talking point. We got some serious efficiency here. Woo! All right, guys, and you see right here, I'm continuing to do tests. These are the GTX 1060s. Expect to see these replaced with P104s soon, right? Soon, TM. When we do this weekend's buy for the 500 that I had in stock. So expect to see this repopulated with P104. Yes, I've got the 1080 Ti's that I can do continuous testing with here. And yes, I've got the dual Polaris cards that I can do testing with here. And yes, we could organize some group buys surrounding those parts as well. But what I think we probably need to focus on right now in the face of new hardware is the highest efficiency and best bang for the buck combo, right? And I think the P104 really does that. It is more efficient, and I have to admit it, it's more efficient at more algos than the dual GPU that I had before. It's not as heavy hitting on coins like Monero. So if you know you're going to be mining Monero specifically, then you want to buy for that. So we'll talk about that another time. But it's good enough, right, guys? So yeah, P104 is on the menu for this weekend. Exactly 500. You gotta get them while they're hot. Okay, get them while you can. Get them while they last. Because when they're gone, they're gone. And these are for delivery only. Only for delivery. So look for that on the store for this weekend. And then the group buy will be different. It will be listed differently on the store. And we may actually have that store strictly on a mini site, the storefront mini site or a vendor mini site on Minority. Hey, Pizza, if you need all 500, let's talk. Let's talk. So, guys, listing later on today. I didn't want to dilute the other live stream by talking about that. Saturday Scambusters, newsflash. We're taking this show on the road over to BitTube. If you know creators that are struggling with monetization, that are struggling with getting their ads, their ad eligibility, right, their advertising eligibility shut down or occasionally delayed, or struggling with getting continuous sponsorship, bring them over to BitTube. Tell them I'll debut them if they need it. I'm happy to, because the view time, the air time goes to my channel and it helps me boost their profile. So I'm happy to help in any way I can. Guys, the beauty of the economy, of having a native cryptocurrency like that, where block rewards are shared among creators and consumers of the content, the real product, the real value, because that's so many other cryptocurrency projects fail to do that. They fail to create real value. So, yes, Jolinator, it is going up on Mind Your Biz. That's a short run for tonight. It is not associated with the group buy that we're doing with Minority. Sorry if that's confusing, guys, but these 500 P104 are essentially a favor for a friend. I've got weird friends. I know. I've got really weird friends. But this is crypto, right? Kicks man into giant pit. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. You know I love your face, but I'll be seeing you very soon. So thanks for tuning in. See you over on BitTube.